Rebounder Corzine at center. Sam Vincent, who's made such a difference since he came to this club in the trade from Seattle, and of course Michael Jordan, the shooting guard and the NBA's leading scorer. Chicago Bulls are coached by Doug Collins, 36 years old, second youngest coach in the NBA. Of course, he was an assistant coach for years and came up through the playing and assistant coaching ranks and has done a whale of a job with the Bulls. For the New York Knickerbockers, Green and Walker at the forwards. Weak spot for them. Patrick Ewing playing very well at center. Gerald Wilkins at the shooting guard. And Mark Jackson already the clinch for Rookie of the Year out of St. John's, the point guard for the Knicks, and the youngest coach in the NBA at 35 years old, former Providence head coach Rick Pitino. And the officials for tonight's game at Madison Square Garden, Blaine Reichelt and Earl Strom. And Brad Sellers will jump it at center against Patrick Ewing. They're expecting their 8th sellout of the year at Madison Square Garden. That means 19,591. Tickets are hard to come by for the first time, well, since Rick was just a young guy.
And that's a long time ago.
The scalpers were out front right at the subway station. Tip goes to the Knicks. So it's a playoff level game here tonight. Knicks have won 20 of their last 23 at home. They almost lost it. Gerald Wilkins opens for New York. Here's Sam Vincent wearing number 11. Chicago, of course, in their red road uniform. Vincent from the baseline misses. Oakley loses the loose ball to Jordan, and he's fouled. Oakley grabbed it. Jordan gets fouled. Good hustle by Oakley after Brad Sellers was tentative in going for the ball.
Fouled by Sidney Green.
Sidney Green picks up his first personal ball game for the Knicks.
Pitino is claiming that Michael was going to pass the ball off, and I tend to agree with Rick. It definitely looked like Michael was going to hit one of his teammates rather than shoot the basketball.
But shoot it he does. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Averages 34.7 points per game. You can go on and on about Michael Jordan. Player of the week 4 times this year. Player of the month 2 times. Hit 50-plus points 4 times this season. His high 59. It's tied at 2. Gerald Wilkins. Kenny Walker to Mark Jackson as the Knicks swing it. Looked down low for Green, couldn't get it to him. Jackson beats Vincent.
Well, that was just not good help defensively by the Bulls. Everybody stayed with the men who were on the other side of the court. No help that time for Vincent.
Michael Jordan kicks it out to Oakley. It's going to belong to the Bulls with 15 on the shot clock. A no-look pass from Oakley surprised Brad Sellers a bit. Sam Vincent from Michigan State was at Boston, then at Seattle, and has found a home in Chicago. 5 on the shot clock for Sellers. Blows past Green. Traveling Oakley. Shot clock had gone down to 0. Mark Action Jackson handling the ball, wearing number 13. Here's Patrick Ewing. The 1-2 punch of the Knicks. Ewing on the drive and the finger roll. What a play by Ewing. He was 15 feet away on the baseline. 6-2 New York. Oakley is open and cans the 18-footer. Knicks have yet to miss from the floor. They're 3 out of 3. It's 6-4 New York. Kenny Walker handling the ball. Penetration by Jackson, in trouble. Puts it up and scores. Talk about the confidence of a veteran. Remember, this man's a rookie. Vincent answers.
Talk about confidence. This young man, Sam Vincent, since he's gotten a chance to play, has become a very important part of Chicago's success.
25th game with Chicago, 23rd start. Ewing missed it, but Sidney Green doing what he does best, rebounding. Couldn't control, though, and here comes Vincent and the Bulls.
Vincent stripped that away, did a nice play on it.
Good pitch to Corzine, off the glass for Corzine. He's got a good perimeter shot. They hope to get him out in the open court a little more tonight to draw Patrick Ewing away from the hoop.
And you'll notice Chicago is going to attack New York every chance they get by moving it up the floor quickly.
Lob attempt to Ewing. Walker comes up with it. Shot clock down to 10. Ewing's going to take it strong to the hoop. Brad Sellers and the Bulls run. 3-on-3. Good move by Vincent, but didn't get it to go. It's tied at 8. 8:49 to go in the first quarter. It's been end to end. Ewing with 7 on the clock kicks it outside. Jackson for the penetration. He's fouled.
No basket. No
By
basket.
Vincent.
Well, the one thing in playing against a player like Jackson, who is a great ball handler and really likes to penetrate, is you see the foul with the body as he made the penetration move. It's a good thing he fouled him then, because he fouled him on the shot too, and he would have 3-point opportunities. You cannot go out and attack him. You have to run out and close out slowly, because he wants to go by you. He doesn't want to shoot the outside shot.
Both clubs with 1 team foul. 21 is Wilkins, 44 Green, and here's 34 Walker from the corner for the Knicks. Oakley with the rebound. Good outlet to Sellers, who traveled. Couldn't get the handle. Sellers a good open court player, but couldn't handle it that time. The Knicks lead the league in forced turnovers. They didn't really force that one, forcing teams to about 20 turnovers a game. Poor entry pass. Jordan no looks to Oakley. Doesn't get the basket, but he'll go to the free throw line. Walker with the personal. Kenny Walker from Kentucky.
Well, watch the pass inside. Mark tried to go up and get it with one hand. It was thrown behind him a little bit. Couldn't control it. Michael Jordan leading the break. The nice pass without looking to Oakley, who gets fouled with the body by Kenny Walker. And good hustle by Oakley to get down the court quickly. But that's what Doug has really worked on this morning, is getting down the court quickly, attacking the New York Knicks defense, something Rick Pitino said they did not do well getting back defensively the last time these teams played in Chicago.
Rebound Ewing. Wilkins wants to get Sidney Green down low. Sellers is playing on Sidney Green. Walker to Ewing. Moved the ball well. Jackson for a 3-pointer. He gets it.
Well, he's not known for his outside shooting, and I would think that if he's going to beat you with those shots, then you're just going to have to be beaten. You've got to take away the inside game.
Jackson has hit 43% of his 3-point attempts in the last 11 games, so he's getting better at it. The double team on Corzine loses the ball. They get it to Jordan. Tied at 11, 7:22 to go, first quarter. You cannot give Mark Jackson a moment's breath, or he'll take it to the hole. He's 4 out of 4 from the floor. Tipped away by Green. And the ball once again came directly to Rick Barry.
That. You know it does that, Bob. It has to come to the offensive players.
It's amazing. It always ends up in your hands. And you made a pass. Congratulations. It'll be inbounded by Brad Sellers. 17 seconds to go on the Chicago shot clock. Bulls trail by 2. There's Corzine trying to draw Ewing out. Ewing wouldn't come, so Corzine shot it, missed it. Walker, slick ball. It'll be Chicago basketball. There's a timeout on the floor with 6:57 remaining in quarter number 1 from Madison Square Garden.
First, we're going to go live to the Spectrum in Philadelphia, where the Sixers are retiring number 6, the jersey worn by Julius Erving for his 11 seasons with the Philadelphia 76ers. His number 32 is already retired by the New Jersey Nets. That was the jersey he wore for 3 ABA MVP seasons. We're now joining the ceremony live.
Massachusetts, number 6, captain of the Philadelphia 76ers, Julius the Doctor
That is the voice of the late Dave Zinkoff, a longtime Philadelphia 76ers announcer. Commissioner David Stern and several of his former teammates. Among those on hand are Henry Bibby, Billy Cunningham, Hale Greer, Bobby Jones, Steve Mix, former coach Kevin Lockery, Jack McMahon. The master of ceremonies tonight is Dick Stockton. Julius Erving, number 6, being retired by the Sixers. Joined, of course, by his wife Turquoise and his children. Here is Dick Stockton, CBS announcer.
We've got more. What memories? Zink introducing the doc. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one other former teammate of Julius's that we would like to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, seated to my left is a man who played with Julius at the University of Massachusetts and later with the New York Nets. Please welcome Al Skinner, ladies and gentlemen. Al. And right now, I would like to call upon the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern, to come up and make a few remarks. David.
Julius, it's my pleasure, on behalf of the NBA family and your millions of fans throughout this country, to say thank you. Thank you for being the great and exciting player that you were. Thank you for changing our game. In short, thank you for being one of the great players to play in our league. And thank you again for being so dignified and graceful off the court. You've set the standard, and I know I speak for everyone here. It's great to be here when the number is finally going to be lifted up to the rafters. We love you.
And now for additional greetings, please let's bring up here to the stage the Honorable Wilson Goode, the mayor of Philadelphia.
Julius, you've been...
We're sorry to interrupt the mayor, but we will be going back to the ceremony. We'll have a complete report at halftime when we will also hear from Julius Erving himself. But now let's go back to our game, the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks, Bob Neal and Rick Barry.
Thank you, Craig Sager. Michael Jordan at the line. He was just fouled by Gerald Wilkins. Along with Rick Barry, it's Bob Neal. 5:10 remaining in the first quarter from Madison Square Garden. Knicks lead the Bulls 15-14. Some substitutions for the Knickerbockers. Trent Tucker, number 6, into the game, along with Cartwright, 25, who can't handle the pass as it goes out of bounds. Also, Johnny Newman in for the New York Knicks, and Scottie Pippen has checked in for the Chicago Bulls. Pippen, the rookie, wearing number 33.
Both teams a little ragged here, Bob, not handling the ball well and playing a very aggressive defense, but not a lot of offense right now.
Jordan pulls up for a three-pointer, shoots it long. Corzine is there, hits the side of the backboard. Pippen can't make it go down. Corzine controls. New shot clock. Oakley travels. He is angry.
And he pays the technical fine for it. We'll watch it again. I think he was in the air when he makes the move. I don't know how they call the traveling. We'll see. We'll see the play come up now. The shot's going to come. Lost the ball, took the step, caught it in the air before he hit the ground. To me, it looked like a good play because he would have had to come down and hit the ground before he shot the ball for it to have been traveling. So he had reason to be upset. And not only does he not get the 2 points and the free throw for a foul, he winds up losing a point and some cash.
Johnny Newman hits the free throw for the New York Knicks. It's 16-14 Knicks, 4:27 to go in the first quarter. Oakley had been called for traveling earlier. That was the second call. Tough on Cartwright. Left hand won't go. Oakley couldn't control. Must be a slick ball. Newman can't get it to go down. Oakley gets it this time. Loose ball foul on the Knicks.
First ball foul.
I think it's Johnny Newman, I believe.
It is Newman who gets charged for the foul. It'll be Chicago ball. Team foul situation. That's 5 on the Knicks, I believe, and the Bulls should be shooting. Bulls have only 1 team foul. 16-14 New York. 4:13 to go in the first quarter.
Well, I know that New York was upset that they didn't do a better job on their offensive boards in the last game they played in Chicago, and they played quite well, but the Bulls played a little bit better, and so they were going to concentrate on that tonight. And they've been extremely aggressive on the offensive end, except they haven't been able to capitalize on it by putting it back in the basket.
Replacing St. Vincent.
See Paxson in the
Charles
game.
Oakley on the line.
Oakley having trouble at the free throw line. The Bulls only 4 out of 7. When you get down to playoff time and games that determine playoff position or whether you make it or not, the free throws start becoming a very significant factor. Oakley only 2 out of 4 now shooting free throws early in this ball game. The Bulls have some guys who are shooting great, but they also have some of the worst free throw shooters in the league on their team. Grant and Pippen among them. 4-3. Newman missing. Corzine to Paxson. Pippen pulls up from 10 feet. Jackson. Newman on the drive. He's fouled.
By Michael Jordan.
Fouled by Michael Jordan. That's his first personal
That's one of those
foul.
fouls that you wish you hadn't committed because Corzine was there and made a clean block.
Johnny Newman on the line, shooting 2.
Watch Jackson taking it down the court, leading the attack for the Knicks right off the dribble. The good pass to seize the opening. Newman, that is, and Jordan just a little bit with the body, but you see the good block by Corzine. So Michael, I'm sure, upset that he wasn't able to keep his body away from Newman on that play.
Johnny Newman, a number 2 draft choice of Cleveland in '86, played at Richmond, has done well with the Knicks. He's been kind of a streak player. At one time he had a list of games going where he was, I think he had 13 straight shots, as a matter of fact, that he had hit. He's 7 of 18 in his last 3-point attempts. He's a good 3-point shooter and has really provided a spark for this Knicks team on their playoff drives. Jordan. Here comes Jackson. It's 4-on-2. Pippen played him well on the open floor. Paxson blocked it away from Ewing. Newman can't get the reverse to fall. Oakley controls the loose ball. That was Newman tipping the ball away from Paxson as he tried to penetrate the paint.
Well, the Knicks have gotten a lot of opportunities inside, and the ball just will not seem to go in the basket. It's like there's a lid on it for them. .15 on the shot clock for Chicago. Jordan lurking underneath the hoop looking for the ball. Well, he was open for a lob pass, but Oakley had it and didn't see it.
Oh, yes, Michael Jordan. The basketball-wise New Yorkers applauded, even though they'd have just as soon seen the Knicks get the points.
One wide reason was great to play here, Bob. They used to love to come here because they appreciate good basketball.
Cartwright over Oakley. NBA's leading rebounder with the outlet to Jordan. The bad pass went off the hands of Tucker and out of bounds. Timeout, Chicago. 2:42 to go, first quarter. Knicks lead it by 1. Bob Neal and Rick Barry with you from Madison Square Garden in New York. It's a playoff-level intense game. 1-point difference. And another playoff intensity game coming your way. Celtics at Hawks. That game will be 7:35 Eastern time on the Superstation. Skip Carey, Steve Jones will have that. Here comes Mark Jackson again. It's 3-on-3. Feeds to Newman. Ewing is there to stick it back. Patrick Ewing. He has 4 points. Knicks have been defensively rebounding well, forcing some turnovers and thus running. Illegal defense against New York.
An illegal defense is charged.
Speaking of defense, Rick, it was interesting that Isaiah Thomas was asked who he thought would have been most influential in the game in recent years, Julius Erving, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, etc., he said, I think possibly Hubie Brown, with the way he brought the intensity of defense back. Pitino, of course, is a student of that and is carrying it into the Knicks now.
Well, certainly with all of the pressing and the trapping, it has changed the NBA.
2 minutes.
Paxson to Oakley. And the Knicks defense has been just super here, forcing another turnover. Chicago having a hard time getting the ball into the post, whether it be Jordan or the big players. As a matter of fact, Corzine and Oakley have been primarily out on the perimeter as Horace Grant checks in. Oakley will take a rest. Oakley goes out with 4 points and seven rebounds in the first quarter with 1:50 remaining. Paxson running with the Bulls. Corzine couldn't get to it, tried to tip it away, but it only goes to the Knicks. All 5 white-jerseyed Knicks are down there in the paint. Cartwright jams it. 22-17. Knicks up by 5. It's been because of defense.
And they really haven't even put their traps and their presses in yet.
Pippen. It's tipped out of bounds by Tucker. It'll be Chicago ball with 5 on the shot clock. Sidney Green checking back in for New York, number 44. Ewing sits down for the final one away to the first quarter.
5 seconds to attempt the goal. 5 seconds, Chicago.
What a move by Jordan. In and out in the air along the baseline. Jordan has 11. This is Newman. 8 on the shot clock. Jackson trying to get past Paxson. Good defense there, but when Corzine came to help, Jackson gave it to Cartwright.
And that's what the point guard will do. He gets the penetration, draws the defensive help, and then finds the open man.
Paxson for 3. Yes. That's 2. He stepped on the line.
A two-pointer. John Paxson and New York Knicks.
30 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3-point Knicks lead. Jackson beat Jordan to Newman. Pippen kept it alive. Nice job by Scottie Pippen. This could be good. Jordan pulls it back. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Fans wanted him to take it to the hole right then.
I think they were cheering Trent Tucker a little bit for maybe thinking he stopped it, but Michael saw the clock. He looked at it when he got the ball, knew there was plenty of time left. There's the illegal defense again, so that'll be the technical foul. But that's a smart play by Michael. Play for the last shot.
Absolutely. 5 seconds left. That was the second illegal defense call against the Knicks, so it'll be the technical foul. Waiters will come in for one of his rare Chicago appearances, number 31. He's the 7-footer from Ohio State. So Jordan gets that. The Bulls get the ball with 5 seconds, and that gives them a 3-point conversion opportunity, trailing by 2.
Granville Waiters giving a blow to Corzine.
Good penetration by Paxson in the basket.
Scorer's time.
Jackson just barely missing at the end of the first quarter. It's a beauty. 24-24.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Acura Legend and Integra. Precision crafted performance exclusively at your Acura dealer. And by Reebok basketball shoes. When the new Legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
Chicago Bulls shooting 56%. Knicks at 45 in the first quarter. Bulls were trailing by 5, but tied it right at the buzzer.
Well, the 45% shooting result of all those missed inside opportunities that the Knicks had. If they had those dropping in there, they could have a good 6-8 point lead.
Madison Square Garden. They're expecting a sellout here tonight. 19,000 people. The Avia scoreboard. Detroit and Boston in a very big game, as you see. Atlanta leading New Jersey just across the river up here in the New York area. Mark Jackson 4 out of 5 in the first 6 minutes, but he hasn't had any shots in the last 6 minutes. for New York. That's Pippen from the baseline from John Paxson.
Be interesting to see when the Knicks decide to throw on some of that full court pressure and some of their traps, which they have not done thus far.
The Chicago's battled back into the league. Ewing's getting set to return to action in the game. Cartwright at center right now. Wilkins with a beautiful drive. Gerald Wilkins. He was only 6 out of 23 when he played against his brother in the Atlanta Hawks last Saturday night. Knicks winning in Atlanta.
Michael Jordan getting a rest now. A chance for the Knicks to try and get a little control here of this game.
Waiters, Horace Grant, Paxson, Vincent, and Pippen on the floor for the Bulls. 5 on the shot clock. 4, 3. Does Vincent know it? 2, 1. Vincent did and shoots and misses. That would have counted. It was prior to the buzzer. Mark Jackson. Oh, he's all over the floor. He looks so dangerous all the time, like some other great guards that have played here in the Garden. Foul on Chicago. Waiters. Granville Waiters only plays about 5 minutes a game. Has been in only 19 games for the Bulls this year. Patrick Ewing. Somebody said he was once a $30 million bad movie.
I think that was Hubie Brown.
But it was a premature review.
Well, that's true. It was an early review. They did a little editing, took it back in, did some editing, and now it's the star show.
Brought in a new director, Rick Pitino.
That's true.
Pitino and Ewing getting along very well, and a lot of people think that's one of the reasons that Ewing's playing better. Another, of course, is that Jackson makes the great entry passes to Ewing. He's maturing naturally. He'll be back on the floor in a moment. Knicks by 1, 10:45 to go, second quarter. Sam Vincent guarded by Jackson. Pick from Grant. Grant was open. Vincent didn't see him on the far side. Shot clock down to 7.
Call him for hooking. Offensive foul on Horace Grant.
The New York defense, as Ewing checks back in, is keeping the Bulls out about 18 feet away. That's the only place the Bulls have been successful with any kind of passing game.
They've done a good job of shutting down their offense in the half-court game. The Bulls got most of it off of the early opportunities.
Newman, that's a 2-point attempt. Rebound Vincent. Did he sky for that? 3-on-4 Bulls break. Vincent with a beautiful move.
Another one of those early opportunities off of a missed long shot. That's what the Bulls have had to use for their offense so far.
Bulls by 1. Seesaw with the lead now. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ewing gets a double team. Wilkins finds the open man. It was Newman. He gets the layup. Lead back to New York. And here's the full court pressure now. Pippen pulls it up off the glass. Can't get it to fall. Pippen and Grant, the Bulls' 2 #1 draft choice in there now. Wilkins from 14. Rebound Horace Grant. That's what he's been doing so well lately for Chicago. Waiters, Grant, Pippen, Vincent, and Paxson for the Bulls. Inside to Grant. No foul as Grant really collided with Ewing.
And the Bulls lead 38.
Bulls by 1.
Well, Earl Strom, the official underneath, one of the veteran officials, was not going to make a foul call on that particular type of contact.
Walker set to come back in for New York. Kenny Walker. Foul on Chicago.
Now, Grant's probably wondering, wait a second, you just called offensive on me for hooking. I'm playing defense. I just got hooked, and now you're calling a foul on me defensively as Kenny Walker into the ballgame. Let's watch again. Now watch the left arm. Right to hook, right there. A little push off with the left arm, and Horace can't believe it.
The explanation is spelled R-O-O-K-I-E, I suppose.
And now he's on the bench. I asked him before the game, why is he playing so well? He said, well, I don't have to worry about getting fouls. I'm just playing my game.
But not tonight. Nice block. That's 2 blocks. Chicago ball.
Again, the Knicks just having terrible breaks inside. Good defensive plays that time by Chicago.
Chicago handling it well until that time without Jordan on the floor. Jackson. To Wilkins. He lost control of it and volleyballed it intelligently to Wilkins.
Terrific presence of mind to make a bad play into a great play.
Mark Jackson with a foul on Oakley on the end-to-end pressure. Jackson is the all-time assists leader in the history of the NBA.
Let's watch the last play. Wilkins using that great speed to just knock it away from Sam Vincent, and the contact came after the ball was loose. That's why no foul called.
Back to live action. Knicks by 1. Oakley down low, stripped away by Ewing.
And Michael's had a long rest, Bob.
Oakley having trouble holding on to the ball down low. This time, though, the Knicks knocked it away. They'll reset the shot clock and give Chicago 5 seconds. Trailing the Knicks by 1 with 8:05 to go in the quarter. Waiter sits down. Dave Corzine re-enters the game.
I tell you, the Knicks have been very, very active with their hands, doing and reaching in. They've knocked a lot of balls loose so far in this game.
Only 5 seconds down to Paxson. He missed it. Ewing rebound. Jackson running. Has Wilkins on his left. Blows past everybody. Draws the foul from Oakley.
And that was a smart play. That did not look like a rookie, Bob. This man has such good court presence and is playing so intelligently. We'll watch him on this drive as he comes in here. Now watch the way he's going to lean into Oakley. He'll go up in the air, get Oakley commit. Now he leans his body in, pulls the ball out, draws the foul, and will go to the line and had a chance for a three-point play. That's a veteran play.
This is a long time for Michael Jordan to be resting on the bench, Rick. Is that good news or bad news for the Knicks? In other words, this kind of rest for Michael Jordan, who has 12 points right now, does that mean he's going to come in with fresh legs and be even more devastating?
Well, I think that Doug Collins has to look at it as a real advantage for his team. He's got a lot of the Knicks starters out there playing hard, getting tired, as Michael Jordan's getting a considerable amount of rest. 4 minutes have already gone by here. He's had the minute break after the first half. Long time for Michael to be sitting.
Doug told me today that Michael has had some sort of minor stomach virus on this trip, has not been feeling all that well. That may have something to do with him getting a longer rest than normal. Coming up in the third quarter of tonight's game, watch for details on how you can win big prizes in the Superstation TBS Hall of Fans contest. Chicago having trouble getting it across half court. Paxson now open from 19 feet. He usually buries that. Stripped away by Pippen, out of bounds. New York ball. Knicks by 2.
Let's see if the foul is by Pippen as he comes around Sidney Green from behind. Whacked him pretty good with the body after he hit the ball away. Definitely kicked off of the foot of Scottie Pippen, however. This is very much like playoff basketball, Bob. A lot of intensity out here.
Sam Vincent. Bad pass to Oakley. Just bad communications.
And speaking of Michael Jordan, he now re-enters the ball game. And the Knicks only have a 2-point lead, and Michael has gotten a lot of rest.
That's 10 turnovers for Chicago. They had only 12 turnovers in that 131-point win they had in Chicago. 10 already here in a quarter and a half. I told you Knicks lead the lead in forcing. About 20 a game. Jackson misses for three-point range. Loose ball foul Chicago.
Well, that was great hustle on the part of Patrick Ewing, who was on the opposite side of the floor when the shot ran up, and he ran all the way around and did a big loop to get in position to get that offensive rebound. You see Cedric Toney coming into the game for Mark Jackson, who gets his first rest.
Corzine picked up the personal foul. Toney signed with the Knicks a few weeks ago out of AAU basketball. He was playing in Dayton, Ohio. Ewing, 3 people on him, battled it in, couldn't get it to fall. Oakley with another rebound.
Patrick, looking at Earl Strong, couldn't believe that a foul wasn't called.
9 rebounds for Oakley already. Corzine draws out Ewing, takes the shot, couldn't decide whether to bank it or not, and it hurt him. New shot clock, though. Corzine. Chicago very tentative shooting the ball. Nobody looks like they have any confidence.
Well, they've really disrupted their offense.
Rebound Pippen. Pippen's at his best in the open floor.
And as the Knicks have done that with their defense. They're used to getting the type of shots that they're getting. And when they do get open, they're thinking too much about it.
It's been a long time since Brad Sellers has been in the ball game for Chicago. Look at the defense. Pippen hit the bottom of the rim, got a new shot clock. Corzine missed. Oakley tipped it. It is a New York Knicks frenzy in the Chicago paint. Tied at 32. Wilkins.
We just saw Patrick Ewing do something that he's really learned to do well, is to get a good lead pass.
Pippen on the reverse shot.
Nice play on the part of Vincent, and also Pippen to get that quick, easy hoop. But Patrick's kicking it out when he gets that double and triple team rather than holding it like he used to. He's doing a very good job of it.
5:28 to go, second quarter. We're tied at 34 from Madison Square Garden. Michael Jordan, who just came back in for Chicago with 12 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and Mark Jackson having the Rookie of the Year season.
Well, playing outstanding basketball. Of course, Mark is the point guard, so he is supposed to get a lot of assists. However, the points are certainly a bonus. And Michael Jordan, they're doing a good job of keeping him from getting a lot of shots up, but he, again, is dishing the ball off as well, and that's one of the reasons why he's a great basketball player, because he helps his teammates out, makes them better players.
Michael averages 5.9 assists per game. Wilkins draws Jordan out, penetrates to the hoop. Good play by Gerald Wilkins, having himself a good game here tonight after really struggling down in Atlanta, going 6 of 23. Wilkins has 10, all, or 8 of the 10 coming in the second quarter. Knicks by 2. Jordan open from the perimeter.
Michael Jordan.
But Michael did a great job of getting open and used Corzine 2 times for a screen. Doug Collins changing things a little bit, giving Michael the ball to bring it up the court and let him start with the ball in his hands rather than having to find him open.
Which is something they did a lot at Chicago before the entry of Sam Vincent. Cartwright backing in on Oakley. Nice play by Bill Cartwright.
Got a big height advantage there.
He's having his healthiest season since 1982-83. He's played in 79 of these Knicks games.
That was traveling. He got away with it that time.
Oakley will go to the free throw line. Cartwright for the foul.
Well, let's see, that might make up for the one where he got called for the traveling when he really didn't, because this time he did. Let's watch him now. Now watch his left foot. There he goes. He grabs his left foot, moves it, and then he goes up for the shot. That's traveling.
Corzine, Grant, Oakley, Jordan and Vincent in there for Chicago. Cartwright and Ewing both in, the Twin Towers, if you will, for New York, along with Kenny Walker, Mark Jackson, and Gerald Wilkins. Oakley can tie it here with 4:27 to go in the second quarter. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Charles Oakley. We expected this very kind of game here tonight. A lot of turnovers, a lot of pressure defense. Chicago, #1 defensive team in the NBA. And the Knicks known for their pressure defense. Sky Walker missing, Jordan running. 1-on-2, has some help now on the wings. It was almost a hindrance as Oakley ran into the flight path of Air Jordan. The Bulls lead by 2.
It's okay, Michael just flew above it. Flew above the turbulence.
Wilkins. Corzine kept it alive. Here's Vincent. Has Jordan down on his left. Gets it to Corzine off the wing. Nice play by Dave Corzine. And the Bulls now open their biggest lead of 4. 22nd timeout for Rick Pitino and the New York Knicks.
And a smart play on the part of Pitino. They're a little quick with their offense. Time before that last long outside shot, the inexperience, I think, of Kenny Walker showed. He had Horace Grant guarding him, Bob. Grant already had 2 fouls. There was no way Grant was going to play that aggressive defensively. Kenny rushed his shot a bit and thought that Horace may come after him for the block, and as a result, he missed it. That turned into an opportunity off the break for the Bulls, and the last bad shot that we'll see coming up, we see another easy opportunity for the Bulls. And here's Michael Jordan. A little hesitation. He got Wilkins leaning to his right, took him to the left, and just flies in for the easy 2.
Michael Jordan with 16 points in this ball game. Somewhat of a minor stomach virus, not feeling all that well. Spent most of the day in his hotel room bed. Kenny Walker missed the basket foul on Chicago.
Well, Michael had the block, but I think they're calling him for the foul, saying that he got him on the arm. And Michael saying had nothing but ball, and Doug Collins in the background arguing as well.
That's 2 on Jordan.
Let's take a look at it again, see if we can pick it up. Michael coming from the weak side, out of your picture now. There he comes over, lets him go up, times it perfectly. Boom, that is all basketball. That was not a foul.
Kenny Walker, a 79% free throw shooter from the University of Kentucky. Back in '87, Kenny Walker outran an actual horse in a 110-yard dash.
I tell you what, tell me the name of that horse, because I definitely don't ever want to bet on him.
I happen to know the name. Pacer. He may be out to pasture by now. No, it's actually just a couple of years ago. So. Shot clock down to 10. Jordan just pulls up and misses. Ewing, speaking of running the floor, from Mark Jackson. 6 points for Patrick Ewing. Bulls by 1 point, 2:55 to go in the first half. Horace Grant guarded by Gerald Wilkins. Ewing reaches around, causes the steal. Here comes Jackson, has Ewing. Sam Vincent with a block. It'll be a jump ball.
Mark Jackson got a little too cute that time. He should have just thrown a lob pass right ahead to Ewing, who could have taken it either for the dunk or for the easy play. Let's watch it again. Here we see the long pass to Jackson. Now watch when Vincent goes right there. He could have thrown it up in the air. Patrick could have run to the basketball. As the result of it, Vincent makes a great defensive play.
Madison Square Garden family with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Rangers goalie.
NBA action. It's fantastic.
Madison Square Garden, Bob Neal and Rick Barry with you. 42-41 Chicago with 2:41 to go in the half.
Here's now Jackson kicking it out to Patrick Ewing, way out on the court. And you see the big man only taking just a couple of strides. You're allowed that step and a half in the NBA, and covered a lot of territory. And I don't think a lot of Bulls were going to step in his path on that one, because he had a pretty good head of steam, but he does run the court well. In fact, Hakeem Olajuwon said that his toughest competition now, he feels, in the center position throughout the league is that man right there, Patrick Ewing.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Vincent wins the jump with Mark Jackson. Vincent, an exceptional leaper. He's only 6'2", but he can really sky. Into Horace Grant. The best place for him is that post position down low, and you see why.
And that's the first time they've really gone to him, and I'm sure Doug Collins decided we've got to get Horace involved in the offense here, because we're having a difficult time doing much in the setup offense.
Patrick Ewing has 8. Bulls by 1, 2:10 to go in the half. There you go, back to Horace Grant. Misses from the baseline. The loose ball foul.
That was a good call by Earl Strom, who was right in front of us, because Phil Cartwright put 2 hands in the back of Oakley to push him out of the way to get that rebound, as Oakley had gotten the inside position.
Charge against Phil Cartwright, his second personal foul, and New York's third.
2 minutes remaining in the half. Bulls lead by 1.
Sidney Green, number 44, in for New York.
Hope you'll join us at halftime. NBA news, scores, and highlights. Nat Sweetwater Clifton feature, and the NBA Player of the Week will be announced. Craig Sager will be on hand for that. Grant wants the 2-man game with Vincent and gets it. Now they do the same thing with Oakley down low. He feeds Grant. Tough play inside by the rookie Horace Grant.
That's good ball movement on the part of Chicago's. They reacted well to the double teaming of the Knicks that time, and one of the few times they broke them down.
Grant has 6 points all in this quarter. Horace Grant has been shooting 60% from the floor in his last 6 games. Ewing. Now they've got a 2-man game going with Wilkins and Ewing.
And Vincent reaches in to help that time and grab the arm of Patrick.
That's his second personal foul.
Number 2 on Sam Vincent. 3-point Bulls lead.
They had decided they were going to definitely double down on Patrick. He hit 42 points he had the last time they met in Chicago, and Doug Collins didn't want that to happen again, so he came up with a little different defense, something that they weren't doing a lot of, double down and doing a lot of rotation. They've done a pretty good job of containing the inside game of Patrick.
Some people were very surprised when veteran coach Jack Ramsey didn't decide to double team Patrick Ewing much in a recent Pacers Knicks game. I can't imagine not double teaming.
Well, sometimes you might make the decision that you want to let your player play him individually and figure if Patrick has to get 40 or more to beat you, then that'll be the case, and you'll just try and shut the other people down.
Jordan hit hard underneath the hoop. It's a 1-point Bulls lead as Michael Jordan will go to the line with 1:15 remaining in the first half. Tucker picks up the first personal foul for that young man in this ball game.
New York's first foul within the last 2 minutes. That first.
Brad Sellers back into the game. He has not been in much in this first half for Chicago. Even though he started, and John Paxson's going to come in. Jordan rattles it in.
John Paxson, number 5.
Paxson will relieve Sam Vincent. See Michael Jordan leading the NBA in steals and scoring, leads the Bulls in virtually every category. Came into this game with 2,710 points. So it doesn't look as though he'll get 3,000 this year, although with 3 games left for Chicago.
Oh, the fans would have loved that one had he picked that one off. He came very close to it because that would have been showtime.
Jordan with 250 steals on the year. 3.21's his average. Had 10 in 1 game. Look at Ewing. Spin move into the lane. One of the other reasons Ewing's having a much better year is he's playing, as someone said today, maintenance free. He's not been as injured.
Well, he's got a knee that's bothering him some, but he's been playing hurt this year, something he wasn't doing in the past.
Jordan. Double clutch off the glass. 50-47 Chicago. 40 seconds to go in the half. Trent Tucker. Now triple team on Ewing. He hits the open man. Sidney Green. He was fouled for sure by Sellers, and that's who we're going to call it on. Jordan came in and got him too, but Sellers picks up the first one.
So that's so smart by Patrick to be able to give that ball up. As you see the end of the pass as Sidney Green draws the foul against Sellers as he took it in strong to the basket. But as long as he continues to do that, Bob, it's going to make him more effective offensively because teams are going to have to stop doing that. They're going to have to wait till at least puts it on the floor, and he's just making the Knicks a better basketball team, and it's really nice to see him learning those things. And of course the center position along with the guard position are usually the most difficult to make the transition into the pros. Not many players are afforded the luxury of a Mark Jackson where a coach gives him the reins and lets him play through the mistakes to get his confidence.
Here's that full court pressure. They get it to Jordan to bring it down. He picks up the double team immediately. His call for traveling. The Knicks force another turnover. 11 turnovers by Chicago, and we have 18 seconds to go in the first half. I'll remind you again, the last time the two teams met, Chicago turned it over only 12 times the entire game. 10 seconds to go in the half. Bottom right of your screen. Knicks down by 3. Kenny Walker.
50-49.
There's the buzzer. The Bulls escape the first half with a 1-point lead. We've got a beauty on our hands at Madison Square Garden. Sellout crowd. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a commercial timeout, then join Craig Sager in our studios. Rick and I will be back here in just a few minutes. Madison Square Garden, Bob Neal and Rick Barry with you. It's the Bulls leading by 1 point at halftime. We've seen a tremendous performance once again by the almost surefire rookie of the year, Mark Jackson. And a lot of people are saying he's one of the great point guards to ever play for the Knicks. But the greatest one, well, in my opinion, it's this man. They called him Clyde. Walt Frazier with the assist at Madison Square Garden during the glory years of the Knicks. And you take a look at the comparison between the two, and you look at them play. Here's Mark Jackson from action in tonight's ball game.
Very similar type of plays, Bob. Looking off the other way, spotting the man with the good peripheral vision. And sitting right here next to me is a man who was inducted into the Hall of Fame with me, a great player for the New York Knicks, Walt Frazier. Walt, what do you think about this young man, Mark Jackson?
I like him, Rick. I think he's a very smart player on the court. He plays intelligently. He looks for the open man. He's very unselfish. And he's really captured the city of New York. And every day the comparisons are being made between he and I.
If you had to give him some advice, what would it be?
To work on an outside shot. That's the one weakness that he has, is that he's not a good outside shooter. But as far as penetrating, he does that well. He hits the open man. He knows how to draw fouls with his body, so that's the only thing he has to really work on.
What about as far as this Knicks team is concerned? You were with the last great Knicks team here. What about the future of this ball club?
Right now, they need some more players. They need a power forward. They also need another player that can give them some offensive scoring.
And you might see on the monitor right now, Mark Jackson is being named the New York Knicks Player of the Year here in his rookie season.
Right, that's fantastic. He set a lot of records, and surely he's far ahead of me my rookie year. I never came close to those type of statistics.
Well, if he's lucky enough to have the career that you had, he'll be a very fortunate man indeed.
One more question. You're working with him on his dress. You're well known for it. You're still looking snappy as ever. You're working with him on that area?
Yeah, we have to work hard on that, though, but we're working on it.
Walt Frazier, thank you very much for being with us. First half, the Bulls have a lead of 1 point, 50-49. First half statistics, the Bulls shooting 50%, Knicks 41%. You see the turnovers, Bulls 12, Knicks only 5. Doug Collins told us when we talked to him this morning that his big concern in the last loss at Madison Square Garden to the Knicks, the Bulls' problem came in the second quarter. However, in this ball game tonight, the Knicks actually came from behind to take a lead in the second quarter, and the Bulls' second unit performed much better than Doug Collins said they did in the last game when the Bulls lost at the Garden. The Bulls have won 2 in Chicago, lost 2 here in New York, the scoring leaders for the first half.
Well, Bob, I think that the big difference in this ball game has been the inability of the Knicks to be able to convert on some of their second and third opportunities on their offensive boards. Plus, they've gotten inside a number of times, and they've either had the shot blocked or they've missed the easy shots, and that's the reason why they're shooting that 40.8%.
Sellout crowd at Madison Square Garden. This is the 8th sellout this year, and that's the most sellouts at Madison Square Garden since the 73-74 season. Knicks fans will jam this place when they're winning, but they stay away in like numbers when the Knicks are losing. But right now, tied for the 7th and 8th position in the Eastern Conference, Knicks battling Washington, Indiana, and Philadelphia. They're trailing by 1 as this half opens. Jordan drives, has it stolen, Knicks run. Wilkins on a nice pass, rebound Michael Jordan. Jordan a quiet 20 points in the first half. And he spent a considerable amount of time on the bench. Sellers put it up quickly and scores. Sellers played only 8 minutes in the first half.
And Michael played 19 of the 24 minutes.
Ewing over Corzine. Patrick Ewing has 14. I have a feeling this is going to be a close game all the way down the line. Vincent from the top of the key. Rebound Ewing. Hits Mark Jackson. Brad Sellers with an intelligent play. It'll be a 2-shot foul. He grabs hold of Wilkins.
We'll watch Patrick Ewing getting the rebound and spotting the open man. Jackson, the pass a little bit offline, and Jackson had to kind of track it down.
Chicago's first team foul.
A little trouble with the machine there, but I think that Mark should have taken that ball in by himself. He really had to throw a pass that was behind him to Wilkins. Had he just taken the ball and dribbled in himself, he probably would have had an uncontested layup.
Wilkins had 10 points in the first half.
But you can see the unselfishness of Jackson. He would rather have passed the ball off to a teammate than to have taken it in himself.
The Knicks are only 8 of 14 from the free throw line in this ball game. Bulls are 10 out of 13. Doug Collins says they want to shoot a lot of free throws tonight. Over the season, Knicks opponents have shot nearly 500 more free throws than they have the New York Knicks.
Because of the defense they play. Very aggressive, a lot of the trapping, double teaming. And the teams that attack them and go at them when they do that pressing and trapping are getting to the free throw line as a result of it.
Here's the pressing and trapping right now. Bulls worked on this at practice this morning. Let's see how the practice paid off. Well enough this time.
4 on 3.
Oakley kept it alive, powers it home.
He does such a wonderful job of establishing the inside position. That's the reason he's the leading rebounder in the NBA.
11 rebounds, only a rebound and a half short of his average that leads the league. Corzine rebounding this time.
Good defense by Sellers.
That was a great play by Jordan just to catch that ball.
56-52.
Bulls by 4. Opening moments, third quarter. Ewing couldn't handle the pass. Corzine comes away with it. Jordan dishes to Corzine from 18. Can't get it. Mark Jackson in the paint. Drawing Benson off his feet. Benson avoided the foul, but he couldn't stop Jackson. 2-point Bulls lead. Benson's fouled on the drive.
Followed by Mark Jackson.
Rick Pitino, 35 years old. Coach of the Year candidate. You'd have to say Doug Collins is likewise. Most New York wins since the 83-84 season. Here's the man who's provided one of the missing links for the Bulls, Sam Benson. Traded from Seattle for Sedale 3. And this Kenny Walker. He lost his balance, missed the shot. Rebound Sellers.
No basket. No basket.
And a foul in the backcourt.
Kenny Walker and Sidney Green doing a little number on Sellers, and they're going to call a foul against Kenny Green. I mean, against Kenny Walker.
And Sidney Green is getting involved in the discussion himself.
Followed by Kenny Walker, his second personal foul.
Nobody's quite sure what the call was. Earl Strom waving Rick Pitino back to the New York bench as it'll belong to Chicago with 20 on the shot clock. Bulls leading by 4, 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sellers to Vincent. They clear the side for Vincent. Left hand, it's blocked into the cheap seats from Ewing. 7 seconds on the Chicago shot clock.
Yeah, well, the crowd loved it, but again, it's still Chicago ball, and that's where the old Bill Russell school of blocking shots. Just tip that ball, keep it alive. Mark Jackson could have picked it off.
2 blocks for Ewing in this game. Turnaround Corzine. Jordan was the man who made that play, and Oakley gets fouled hard by Sidney Green. Green had lost his temper a bit back there in the discussion with Kenny Walker and Green and Brad Sellers. Sidney Green, known as one of the NBA enforcers. He came here for his strength and power and rebounding, not for his scoring. But he's messing with Charles Oakley. I guess he knows that.
Well, Charles was an outstanding football player in his younger days.
Oakley with 10 points and 12 rebounds.
Well, Blaine Reichel did a good job, I think. He saw Green starting to go after Oakley and immediately ran in there. Reminded me of a hockey official. At least they get in there before they start swinging, right?
Ewing rebounds on the Oakley miss. Chicago has 8 offensive rebounds. Oakley has 7 of them. Bulls by 5. 8:42 to go in the third quarter. Ewing down low. Double team didn't get there in time, and Ewing made him pay.
But that's because Patrick is not wasting a lot of time like he did in the past. He catches the ball, either makes the quick offensive move, or when he sees the defense coming, he kicks it back out. That's why he's such an improved player.
This Garden crowd is enthusiastic tonight. Jordan past Walker, past Ewing, kicks it to Corzine. Corzine having a real problem hitting from the perimeter, but Jordan with the offensive board and the stick back. He has 24.
Well, they did a great job of containing him initially, but they forgot about him momentarily.
Brad Sellers with a push. That's his third.
Followed by Brad Sellers. That's Sellers' third.
3 team fouls on New York, 2 on Chicago. 7:58 to go in the third quarter. Bulls by 5. Triple team on Ewing. Hits Green, who gets to Walker, who's fouled by Oakley.
That's a big league foul there.
You'd say that Charles stopped him from scoring. Probably stopped him from breathing for a moment.
But again, the Knicks moved the ball very well. Patrick gave it up. He got triple teamed, and he got the ball to Walker on the second pass, and as a result, get 2 free throws. It's the way to break down pressure, Bob. Just get rid of the ball before the trap comes to hurt you, and then you have the defense broken down, and then a couple of quick passes, and you'll get open opportunities.
Chicago Bulls leading 61-56 as Kenny Walker goes to the line. The Bulls are 48-30 coming into this ball game. They've won 19 on the road. Walker with his own rebound. Sidney Green with a monster jam, and he did it with authority and with some temper.
Boy, Vincent missed Jordan wide open on the left that time.
Vincent. Ewing with a big board, and they're on their feet at the Garden. Knicks can tie on this possession. Vincent with a block. It's New York ball.
And again, the Knicks having trouble getting the ball to drop in the hole down low.
Doug Collins wants and gets a timeout for Chicago. 7:27 to go in the third quarter. Listen to this crowd.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Jeep Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA, and by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Start rocking into the night starting April 28th. The NBA playoffs on the Superstation TBS. They're already rocking into the night here at Madison Square Garden, and this is a playoff level game.
Well, it certainly is. Even Earl Strom came over to me during the break, was talking about it. See Patrick Ewing with another one of his rebounds, and there's Mark Jackson, the man who leads. And look at the calmness that he has. A little move to the inside. Michael Jordan does a good job defensively, but there's a good pass off. And again, one of those missed opportunities by the Knicks. Jackson hustles back in. That gets knocked away by Vincent. And finally, Vincent's out of bounds, and it's New York ball. But it's been that type of tough play underneath for the Knicks that has really cost them a chance to be leading this game.
New shot clock for the Knicks. They can tie on this possession. Ewing draws the double and triple team, hits the open man Wilkins through the paint, stripped away. Nice play by, I think, Michael Jordan.
It was indeed Michael. Michael and Jackson battling inside.
There's the quadruple team on Jordan, and it paid off. No look to Walker from Jackson. Jordan answers for Chicago, 63-61.
Boy, I tell you, it's great to be on the road in the Garden, have the crowd going crazy, and be able to quiet them down with a shot like that.
The Knicks have their way. You and I will be back here to see the Knicks play possibly Boston in the first round of the playoffs. But yet they have to deal with Washington and Indiana. Possibly Philadelphia.
He gave it right back to them. They had the ball, but Oakley and Corzine couldn't get their signals straight.
Sellers out, Scottie Pippen in. Johnny Newman checking in for New York. And he'll get Kenny Walker.
You get the feeling that this crowd is just dying for a winner here in New York.
Sidney Green over Oakley. Oakley mistimed his jump. Couldn't get the ball. Green does. Another rebound and points. Sidney Green playing like a man possessed.
Mark Jackson got hit in the nose.
It's tied at 63. Only 10 on the shot clock as Chicago starts their half-court offense. But that's all Michael Jordan needs. Jordan with 28 points. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Ewing draws the double team. This time didn't get the good pass. Vincent versus Jackson. Lost his footing.
Travels because he caught his own pass, Bob, and never touched anything. He slipped and then caught his own pass.
Bulls by 2.
Miles Grant, number 54, is in for the Bulls.
Horace Grant is checked in for Chicago. Pass down low to Green. To Ewing. Beautiful pass from Sidney Green. Boy, these Knicks play defense inside your jersey. Chicago starting the offense again with 10 seconds on the clock. 7. Air ball by Jordan. Oakley is there.
He's relentless, and he just works so hard to get those offensive rebounds, and that's what you have to do to be a great offensive rebounder.
Oakley with 12 offensive rebounds right at his average. He has 13 points. That's above his average. Here comes Jordan. Has Pippen way out in front for the two-handed jam. Good pass by Jordan and a good job of getting out by Scottie Pippen.
And again, the Knicks lose the ball inside.
Stripped away. Jordan took it away again. New York ball. Good defense by Newman and Green.
But there's a lot of reaching in, a lot of slapping of the arms, hitting people in the faces, letting a lot of activity take place out here from the physical end of it. And hopefully none of the players are going to lose their composure out there with all of that grabbing and holding.
Turnover story in this ball game. 14-9. Chicago in front of us. And statistically something they don't want to be leading in. Newman has it blocked from behind by Scottie Pippen. Knicks ball, 22 seconds on the shot clock.
I tell you, the Knicks have had more inside opportunities tonight, Bob. They're really attacking, doing a heck of a job, but it's rare that a team doesn't come away with more opportunities to score, or actually more scoring. They've had the opportunities, but they haven't capitalized.
This call is going against Chicago, and it's on Pippen. That's his first personal. Johnny Newman, who's on the floor. Green will go to the line to shoot. Johnny Newman, who's been playing very well for New York, number 4 there in the bottom of your screen, is only 1 for 8 tonight. He can't get it to go down for the Knicks. We're going to get Cedric Toney into the ball game for New York.
Ewing and Jackson talking things over here behind the free throw. Should you see him in the back of the picture there, discussing some strategy. Jackson will get a little bit of a rest as the Knicks continue to falter at that free throw line.
Green's only a 67% shooter.
Trainer Mike's going to take a look at his eye. He got hit in the eye and the nose in that one little flurry with Sam Vincent.
He looks like a boxer sitting down in the corner of the ring. Next thing they'll be having a cut man over there. Here's that pressure. Bulls break it. Oakley from 15. 15 points for Charles Oakley. And the Bulls up by 5. 4:15 to go in the third quarter. Cedric Toney, only a month ago, was playing AAU basketball, almost stolen by Jordan in Dayton, Ohio. That's him there, number 11. Cedric Toney.
Bulls lead 71-68.
Bulls by 3. 3:53 to go, third quarter. Seven on the shot clock. Into Oakley. Feed to Grant, who missed the jam. Pippen, nice job. He doesn't miss. Timeout, New York. 3:29 to go in the third. Chicago out in front by 5. Sam Vincent has 10 assists for the Bulls.
Number 6 is in for New York.
The New York Knicks had on the left side of your screen a rough first half, only winning 1 on the road, but they've turned it around in the second half. What is it? Maturity? Getting together as a club?
Well, I think there's certainly the maturity and development of Mark Jackson, the players willing to accept their role, getting used to Pitino's system. All of those factors come into being, and what they've really done, as you see with the games remaining in that battle with Washington, this is their last home ball game, so they have to try and come away with a victory here, having to go out on the road where they certainly aren't as effective. But they're starting to win at home, Bob, and that's what you have to do. You've got to take advantage of the home games.
Cartwright draws 3, gets it to Tony. He buries it for 3 points.
Boy, what a blessing. 5 points from Tony to give Mark Jackson a rest, and he's keeping him right in the ball game.
Tony 4 out of 11 for 3-pointers since he joined this club. That's pretty darn good. Grant, 1-touch pass to Oakley.
And that's the way, again, break the pressure. They came to double Michael before they caused any problem. He gave it up. The next player gave it up, and that's how you beat pressure. Don't panic. Take your time.
Oakley, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Cartwright, blocked by Grant. Doug Collins says Grant has been one of the keys down the stretch. Pippen with a beautiful finesse play.
And as you pointed out, this time of the game, if they get into an all-out, up-and-down-the-court game, Scottie Pippen will be at his best. He's a great open-court player.
Bulls by 6, their biggest lead. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Johnny Newman.
And boy, I tell you, he was open because Sid Green laid a wonderful screen on his man. He just almost took his head off.
Newman now 2 for 9 from the floor. Jordan dribbling past everybody. Goes down hard. He's fouled.
Called Cartwright with the foul. Patino didn't like it. Michael Knights through the pressure, trips, loses his balance. Now he comes back the other way, slips and falls into Cartwright. No foul. The fans had a good reason to be booing there because Michael slipped on his own and actually fell into Cartwright.
Patrick Ewing back into the ball game. Cartwright goes out. Both teams with 4 team fouls. 2:11 to go, third quarter. Bulls lead it 77-73. Bad entry pass to Oakley, but he maintained control. Jordan, what a move. Fouled by Ewing.
Fouled by Patrick Ewing.
And the reason this worked so well, Michael gave the fake. Ewing comes over, picks him up. Great time. He caught him on the arm before he hit the ball. Good call by the official, but credit Michael Jordan for being so creative and moving that basketball around and not putting the ball up for grabs. But see, Michael's hit a couple of those outside jumpers, so now the guys were worried about him. When he faked the shot, he drew a couple of members of the paratrooper club, and that gave him the opening to the basket.
You saw coming into your picture on the left side, number 5, John Paxson into the game for Chicago right now. It's Paxson, Pippen, Jordan, Corzine, and Horace Grant.
And Michael Jordan has not gotten an assist since early in the ball game when he had 3.
Bulls by 6, 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Jordan has 30 points. 20 points for Ewing. This is a full court, open court game, which will be in the favor of the Bulls if it stays that way. Handoff from Grant to Jordan. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan finds Paxson. Back to Jordan. Now he's isolated against Trent Tucker. Draws Cedric Toney with 3 on the shot clock. Michael Jordan. Unstoppable.
I tell you, when he let that out of his hands, he knew it was in because he started back down the court.
Bulls by 6. Minute 15 to go in the third. Tucker wanted to go for 3. He's their best 3-point shooter. Nice pass from Newman inside to Green. Good defense by Corzine, and Horace Grant was there. Bulls turn it over.
Well, I tell you, I cannot even count, I don't think, how many times the Bulls have shut down the Knicks when they've gotten inside. And it's not just because of a good defense. It seems like the block is the second part of the play. It's like the Knicks just missed the first shot for some reason.
Jordan resting the final minute. Vincent comes back in. Tucker missing. Rebound, Pippen. From Central Arkansas. .35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Bulls up by 6. Paxson from the baseline.
John
Paxson, good jump shooter. Jordan is resting. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Newman, good drive on the baseline, but the reverse doesn't go. Once again, he ran into Horace Grant and Corzine down there.
Boy, they get the penetration, and they cannot finish it off. Good
Bulls,
defense that time.
With 10 seconds to go in the quarter, could build a 10-point lead. Pippen for 3. Scottie Pippen for 3 points. He had hit only 1 previously. Pippen is 2 of 21 from that range, and things are going well for Chicago after 3. Playoffs begin on April 28th, and last week we were in Los Angeles with movie stars, Rick, and now Michael Douglas here in New York.
Come on, Academy Award winner for his role in Wall Street. Did an excellent job. Also, the very scary movie that he was in for those who are out on the single trail at times.
Oh, Fatal Attractions. 86-75, Chicago by 11. 12 minutes of basketball remain, and here's why the Bulls are winning in this game. Look at the shooting percentage for Jordan, 12 of 16.
I expect the Knicks are going to come out and put a lot more pressure on, try to create some opportunities for themselves.
Horace Grant created that when he blocked the pass. It was corralled by Pippen. Pippen and Grant, the 2 #1 draft choices for the Bulls, playing well in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if the Knicks make a run. Wilkins on Vincent. Nice pass inside to Horace Grant. Very intelligent move. Instead of going for the power move, he slid to the middle and hit a soft fade shot. Biggest lead of the game for Chicago. Bulls hoping to bypass Atlanta for 3rd place in the Eastern Conference playoff standings. Wilkins with a hoop for the Knicks. That would take Chicago out of the Boston bracket and mean that the Bulls would only have to play Boston if they were to reach the conference finals. Grant to Pippen. Was intimidated by Ewing. They say it went off New York. 13 on the shot clock. Chicago ball. Dave Corzine, nice pass to Grant, gets Ewing airborne, lays it in. Grant playing, you mentioned Mark Jackson playing with maturity, so is Grant. We've got a 20-second New York timeout.
Well, Bob, that's what happens when you're fortunate enough to be on a team as a rookie to get a chance to play. You can't sit on the bench again and learn a great deal. You can learn only so much. You have to be out in the court. Here's the play again. Now watch, you see Ewing coming over his shoulder. The good fake to get him in the air. Now, the only other thing he could have done a little bit better would have been to jump into Patrick when he went up and use the muscle move and draw on the foul against him as well.
There's the percentage. Bulls went from 45 to 55 to 63 in shooting percentage by quarter.
Well, because they were getting used to the pressure, they were handling it a lot better, and that's why they got better shots.
Boston making a statement to Detroit, 1 and 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. Look at that 22-point lead. And Milwaukee ahead of Philadelphia. Philadelphia trying to stay alive in the Eastern Conference and make the playoffs.
And Houston ahead of Dallas in the first, and Dallas has to win that ball game because of the great job that the Nuggets have done to take over first place in the Midwest.
Knicks ball, 13 seconds to go on their shot clock. Scoring by quarter. It was a Knicks game when you see only 24-24, but as the score goes up, it's more and more Bulls game in this particular matchup. Walker with a jam. From Jackson. Stolen by Wilkins. Look at the spin move by Jackson. And the jam by Sidney Green. The Knicks making a run. Timeout, Chicago. 10:19 remaining in the ball game. And the Bulls' lead is cut to 9.
There you see the play again, Bob. An excellent play on the part of the Knicks. And again, Chicago got a little impatient that time. Could have called a timeout if it had the open man, but this is what they needed, a little bit of excitement, get the crowd into it.
Chicago broke the New York press on the inbounds play and now has 10 seconds on the shot clock, leading by 9. The Knicks have been making a run. They're on their feet at the sellout here at the Garden. Jordan. Corzine, big rebound. That quietens the crowd. We understand Atlanta's having problems with New Jersey across the river tonight. Chicago trying to catch Atlanta and move past the Hawks into 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. Vincent running, has Jordan and Grant with him. Grant with a jam. This Chicago team is just playing wonderfully, about 7 or 8 players deep.
Doug's done a great job with them. Another team with confidence.
Walker. And he'll get a three-point opportunity. He can pull the Knicks to within 10 with 9:23 remaining.
Well, again, the offensive rebounding helping the Knicks out this time, and they're able to capitalize. Look at Walker, a little push-off to get the rebound. Didn't get called for it as he knocked Michael out of the way. And the reach in, the foul, and the dunk by Kenny Walker, who got away with the initial foul to be in this position.
There's that score. That's in the fourth quarter. Atlanta, New Jersey knotted up. New Jersey, just that game happening across the river tonight. New Jersey has only 18 wins all year. Hawks struggling. Here's that New York pressure. Chicago trying to beat the 10-second time, and does. Leading by 10. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan with a spin move. Now you see me, now you don't.
Patrick Ewing came to the middle to help double. Michael spun baseline so quick he was open.
Newman, three-point attempt in and out. We've got a loose ball foul. It's on Kenny Walker. This is a critical game for Rick Pitino's New York Knicks.
Let's watch Michael Jordan. Here's the pass inside. You'll see Ewing come after him to double high. He spins so quick, Patrick's out of position, and too late to come over from the opposite side was Mark Jackson to help out, and Michael gets the dunk.
Washington Bullets keeping the pressure on. They're tied for the 7th and 8th positions in the Eastern Conference at 37 and 42 each. Knicks need this home win. It's their last home game of the year. They trail by 12. Jordan for three. The long rebound stays with the Bulls. 8:30 to go in the game. Vincent to Horace Grant. Good play by Sam Vincent on the penetration.
The difference now, Bob, is that Chicago, again, is handling the pressure and the trapping of the Knicks. They're being a little bit more patient, not rushing themselves.
Gerald Wilkins drove left, shot right. Is that pressure? And the Bulls break it again. They do a nice job with it. Jordan has 36.
And what they're doing, Bob, is they keep attacking. They're not breaking the pressure, then taking it back out and setting up and let the Knicks bother their offense that much. They're continually attacking.
Jordan is 14 out of 19 from the floor. Ewing finally penetrates past Corzine and Grant and jams it.
Of course, the Knicks can't keep trading baskets like this. They're going to have to come up with some good defensive plays if they want to have a chance to pull this one out.
The addition of Sam Vincent, not that he's playing so tremendously, although he's playing well, but his addition as a ball handler has really improved the Chicago team. Jordan is on fire. Now he's got 38. It's 54th time this year that Jordan has scored more than 30. Chicago foul. Jordan has 40-plus points 16 times, and he'll almost certainly get his 17th 40-plus game tonight.
Well, let's watch Michael again. As he goes up the shot, got bumped and hit by the body, and that's what he was questioning Earl Strom. He's going, you know, where's the call? I mean, what do I have to do to get the foul? You could see that there was a lot of contact, and it should have been a three-point play for Michael Jordan.
This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Remember, at one time early in the game, you can't really compare Jackson and Jordan because they play two different positions in the backcourt, but they were about even early in the ball game, but Jordan is pulling away.
Well, that's because he's been getting open.
There's that pressure paying off. And Jackson with the hoop. It's a 10-point Chicago lead. The game is far from over. The pressure. And a good play by Ewing. They're saying it's off Jordan. Good call. It'll be New York ball.
Yeah, right in front of us. It was a great play by Ewing. Michael Douglas, a longtime Knicks fan, good friends with Dave DeBuscher, former great Knick.
Newman off the screen. Into the paint. Newman just can't get it to go down tonight. He's only 2 of 9 from the floor. But Trent Tucker can. The Knicks within 8. 6:49 to go. Look at this frenzied full-court pressure. Vincent breaks it. Has Jordan on the wing. The lob. The jam.
And the foul. And that that was great communication between the two players. Michael gave a look to Sam to tell him to throw the lob. There goes the lob. There goes Michael. There's the foul. And Michael has to hold on so he doesn't get undercut and gets Patrick Ewing right in the head. Now watch it again. The communication came. Michael gave the signal. Sam saw it. Sam threw it. Michael finished it off.
Three-point play for Jordan. Michael Jordan has now, for the 17th time this year, scored 40-plus points in a ball game. 105-94, Bulls by 11, 6:35 to go. Every time the Knicks make a run, it's something from Grant or Jordan. Jackson to Newman. Doesn't get the layup. He'll go to the line.
Good pass by Mark Jackson, and actually the Knicks are very fortunate that time because Michael Jordan had great position on Newman, who dipped the shoulder until knocked Michael down, knocked him down to the court, and no foul was called.
Well, I've said it before, and it's easy to say coming off the kind of performance we've seen here, particularly in the third and this early fourth. Michael Jordan would get my vote for most valuable player in the NBA this year, and that's against incredible performances by players like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Clyde Drexler also has had a great year.
Agreed. But I think it should be Jordan. .6:17 to go in the ball game. Now Chicago spreading it, milking a little clock. Oh, except for Michael Jordan.
He's amazing, Bob.
You said, Rick, that when you played, coming into the Garden made you excited, even though you're coming in from out of town. You felt that was in Michael Jordan prior to tonight.
Well, that's exactly the way he felt. He was putting on a show in warm-ups with some dunks, and he's doing it here late in the ball game. Let's watch the move again. The quick move to the baseline. A little bit late. Walker comes over to help. Ewing's too late, and Michael takes it home for another 2 for Chicago. I have ever seen play the game. Not this man, but the man who's going to catch this lob pass. Michael Jordan, as he takes it home, get the Spectre system, boom, right there. What a picture-perfect play. And if you ever bring it to a ball game, you better bring a lot of film because he's going to give you a lot of shots like that.
107-96, Bulls by 11, 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Michael Jordan with 43. I'll say it again, this game is not over. The Knicks are at home. They've played wonderfully well in the second half of the season at home. 11 points in the NBA with 6 points with 6 minutes to go is not overcomable unless it could be an overcoming situation if they can't stop Jordan. Tucker.
Bulls lead, 107-98.
Bulls by 9. Knicks ball. They could pull to within 7. Excuse me. It will be. Yes, it is Knicks ball. That's
Knicks
what
ball.
I thought.
Sam lost it out of bounds.
Doug Collins not enjoying the 9-point lead. Good defense by Chicago for 3. Tucker. Yes. It's a 6-point game. Trent Tucker, New York's best 3-point shooter. Look at that tenacious Knicks defense. Pippen with the finger roll. Bulls by 8. Foul on Chicago. I think just a moment. Doug Collins wanted to wish his son Chris. Of course, these fellas in the NBA don't get a chance to see their families very much. Wanted to wish Chris a happy birthday.
That's right.
Today.
And a very historic day.
Well, Chris would probably like a Chicago win for a birthday present here, but the Knicks are going to try to deny that. Wilkins missing. Vincent rebounding over Corzine. Bulls by 8, 4:57 to go. But Vincent's got to get it across half court. Pippen loses it. Knicks ball.
Took his eye off the ball as he was surveying the court situation. As a result, the turnover.
19 Chicago turnovers. Jackson. 6-point Chicago lead. It's going to go down to the wire. Playoff intensity at the Garden. Knicks battling for their playoff life. Jordan knifes through everybody. The hoop and the 3-point opportunity.
I tell you, Bob, the man simply is astounding. Here comes the double team. He knifes through the opening, takes it to the basket. He decided he was going to take this game over. He has done exactly that. And you really can't say enough about the great talent that we're looking at. Michael Jordan. I mean, he has it all. He's got great natural ability. He has tremendous skills. very intelligent ball player. And the thing I like about him, I was going to say he makes free throws. Thanks, Michael, you screwed that up.
Oakley gets the rebound and the basket. They wave the basket off. Doug Collins talked to us when we did the Chicago-Cleveland game at Chicago about a month ago. He said the upcoming schedule we have is brutal. I hope we can play 500 and hang in here in 4th place. Instead, they've won 11 out of 13 coming into this ball game. Knicks. Wilkins jams. Bulls by 6, 4:18 remaining. Chicago ball. Jordan out there giving instructions, setting up the Chicago break, the press offense. Walker steals it. Then Oakley. Now Pippen. Jordan loses it. It's out of bounds. Chicago ball.
Cartwright knocked it out. That was the old hot potato trick there. I mean, nobody seemed to be able to get a real grasp on the basketball. It had a lot of strange bounces for a round ball.
Cartwright out, Ewing in. Jackson, Ewing, Walker, Wilkins, and Trent Tucker in there for New York. Jordan has it stripped away. Chicago ball, 19 on the shot clock. 4:01 in the game. Bulls by 6. Take it back out. Plenty of shot clock for Chicago. 12, 11, 10, and counting. 7. Jordan throws it away. 3-on-3. Jackson. Look at the dribbling and ball handling to Ewing, who lost the handle. Inside to Oakley. Couldn't get it. He was in bad position. Now it's 3-on-3. Mark Jackson misses. Wilkins doesn't. Bulls by 4. Doug Collins calls timeout with 3:21 remaining in the game.
Spell it.
L-O-U-D.
Okay. I tell you what, Bulls are being just a little bit rushed here in their offense against this pressure.
Almost stolen by Wilkins. Pull it out. Vincent. 10 on the shot clock for Chicago, leading by 4. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Jordan pass Walker. Tucker caused him to miss the shot. Walker with a rebound. Wilkins loses it out of bounds.
Boy, Bob, there's just been so many strange things happen out here. Patrick Ewing losing the ball for the dunk shot. Scottie Pippen down the other end lost it just moments ago, and here we see another turnover that was not even a forced error.
Pippen outpacks it in for better ball handlers for Chicago.
Doug Collins made the decision to not attack the pressure. See the turnovers, 21 for Chicago. Trying to use up some more time on the clock. I still think that I might attack it if you had the numbers.
The 21 turnovers for Chicago, a lot for Chicago, but the Knicks average forcing 20 turnovers a game to lead the NBA. 10 on the shot clock. Corzine wide open. He's been missing that one all night, and he hits it there in a critical situation.
Exactly, and that's the toughest shot in the game. I mean, he was so wide open, no one was within 15 feet of him.
Bulls by 6. Knicks ball, 18 on the shot clock. 2:32 to go in the game.
One thing about this Knicks team, they do not give up, especially at home. When you've got 19,000 plus rooting you on, you really get the adrenaline flowing.
Into Ewing. Tried to go over Corzine. Vincent was there against Tucker. He'll take it all away, loses the handle.
And that's a smart play because you had a one-on-one situation. He's a quicker player than Tucker. Why not take advantage of it?
And he did. Tucker gets the foul. And Sam Vincent is an 85% free throw shooter on the year. When he was at Seattle, he had been shooting about 75%. Since he came to the Bulls, he's at 91%. He goes to the line a lot late in the game.
Well, he's been a great addition to this ball club. And again, I really think that Doug Collins has told his team to not attack against the pressure when you get it down there unless you have good numbers, because he would like to use some more time on the clock.
Sam Vincent gets them both.
I really think they've withstood the best charge that the Knicks are going to be able to make, Bob.
Ewing, finger roll. 115, 109, 2:11 to go in the game. Here's that pressure. And Vincent, by the way, has a career-high assist, 17 tonight, to Oakley. That's the reason Paxson's in the game, to give Chicago one more ball handler against this pressure. Shot clock to 10 for Chicago. Corzine left open again. Hits it again. Rick Pitino wants timeout. Pitino gambled. It was that simple. They left Corzine open because even though he's normally a good perimeter shooter for a big man, he'd been missing them tonight. Bulls lead at 117, 109, 148 to go. Timeout on the floor. Bob Neal and Rick Barry with you from Madison Square Garden. 148 to go in the game. Bulls 117, Knicks 109.
The difference really, Bob, has been the inability of the Knicks to convert their free field goal percentage. You can see here in this period, that's a 40% rate. That's what they were shooting at the end of the half, 40.8. They have just missed so many opportunities inside that it's really coming to be a situation where it's cost them the ball game. That and also shooting poorly from the free throw line.
Very soon, Trent Tucker, who comes into the ball game, is going to have to start going for some three-pointers for New York because they are down 117 to 109.
Well, he hit one big one before that helped get him back in it. He hit a big one in the other game against Atlanta that they won 95-93 just recently. That helped get them back down to a 2-point deficit, and they won that one.
Timeout story. Knicks have to be methodical in the half-court offense this time, but quick at the same time with the clock running down. Wilkins off the screen. He's open for a three-point attempt and gets it. A very big one from Wilkins. Hit his 39th three-pointer of the year. Stolen, that's Trent Tucker. It's back up and in. It's a 4-point game with a minute and a half left. 5 Knick points in 10 seconds. Vincent is fouled hard. No, it is not a foul. Offensive foul on Vincent. It goes to New York. It's a 3-point game.
Doug Collins on the side trying to say just slow it down. Use the clock up. You don't have the numbers. You don't take a guard at a little over 6 feet going against the big guys inside. Ewing straight up. The crash, the push-off. And they give the foul to the Bulls. That's a big break for the Knicks.
With the advantage of replay, you have to argue about that call.
I agree with you.
Knicks could tie with a three-pointer. Ewing brings the Knicks to within 1. A minute 11 to go. Paxson to Oakley. Back to Paxson. Remember, they got to beat the 10 seconds. Paxson's fouled in the backcourt.
And I tell you, that was not a good foul. 16 seconds on the shot clock, Bob. 2 more seconds would have easily elapsed if they had just put pressure on. Paxson would not have gotten that ball across half court.
Gerald Wilkins picks up the personal, and Paxson goes to the free throw line. He is not a great shooter by percentage. Paxson at 74%, but he is a great clutch free throw shooter in his 5th year for Notre Dame.
Where I like the pro rule with the 2 shots instead of the 1-and-1. This game could turn into a travesty right now with that 1-and-1 rule, with both teams fouling guys who aren't good free throw shooters.
Bulls by 3. 1:03 to go in the game. 119-116. What a ball game. .55 seconds in the game, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Wilkins, turnaround shot, unbelievable. Not really a wise choice, but it's wise if it falls. Bulls by 1. They break the pressure. Paxson will pull it out.
Get it into Michael's hands.
Corzine misses this time. Wilkins with the ball. 30 seconds in the game. Knicks could take the lead. Ewing. Oakley with a rebound. 15 seconds in the game. Jordan is fouled by Jackson. Bulls by 1, 12 seconds remaining.
Well, you have to admire the way this Knicks team has hustled to get themselves back in this ball game. They could have easily given up a long time ago, but they are relentless with their defense, and a tribute goes to that man, Rick Pitino. And again, the inside game of the Knicks not working tonight. Ewing makes the move, gets a good look at it, and it just will not drop. Almost taken off by Walker, but Oakley was there for another big rebound.
Ewing with 26 tonight. Jordan with 45, hasn't scored in about 3 or 4 minutes. Bulls by 2, 12 seconds to go in the game. It's still not over.
No, not with the three-point shooters that the Knicks have. They've got both Wilkins and Trent Tucker who could knock it in.
And Mark Jackson, who's been shooting 43% from three-point range in the last 11 games. And they'll have to hit a three-pointer. 12 seconds. Bulls by 3. Timeout, New York.
Well, now what they're going to have to do, the Knicks, of course, will come up with the play, which I'm sure that they have already had all season long, that they'll take the ball at half court, and they have a play set up specifically for this situation where you would have options for your three-point shooters. You'll have different people to look at. We'll see what they come up with. For Doug Collins and the Bulls, this is the opportunity to play the good, tough defense whereby you would probably put the big man, I would think Doug will do this, to pressure the inbounds pass, make it difficult for him. Then you would overplay, at least I would think you would overplay your people outside to force them to have to get the ball inside the three-point line area. If there's ever going to be a pass open, you want to make the pass to a man inside the three-point area. A two-point shot will not hurt you right now. You just do not want to give up that three-point opportunity. Then, of course, if the Knicks, let's say they were able to make it, timeout immediately by Chicago to have that last chance to win it. If they miss it, then the Knicks got to go for the steal and commit the foul right away.
The Bulls have lost both games against the Knicks here at the Garden this year. Bulls won both of the games in Chicago. And look at this. It's overtime across the river in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. The struggling Atlanta Hawks against New Jersey. And the Nets, who have won only 18 games all year and have lost 13 in a row, have the Hawks in overtime. The Bulls on the verge of a win here at Madison Square Garden. If the Hawks lose, will move ahead of Chicago in the Eastern Conference race into third place. And from a perspective of the Chicago Bulls and Atlanta Hawks, out of what would be called the Boston bracket, meaning you wouldn't have to play the Celtics unless you met them in the conference finals. That's the good example. Atlanta, Chicago, both 7 behind Boston, as you see. And New York tied with Washington for the 7th and 8th positions. The final positions go down only through 8, of course, for the playoffs. Indiana, Philadelphia still trying to get in. New York 4 out of 6 from three-point range tonight. They've had 1 each from Jackson, Wilkins, Tony, and Tucker. It's down to it. 12 seconds. Bulls by 3 points. Knicks call timeout again. They couldn't inbound it. They look at the matchup, and now the strategy begins all over again.
Well, and I think that what Rick Pitino will do will devise something a little bit different, but he's got Newman into the ball game now, who's also another three-point shooter. And I think the guy you have to worry about a lot of times, Bob, is the man taking the ball out of bounds, because he's the man who can run to a spot to get open after they throw it in. So the man guarding him has got to remain aware of him.
That's all for the Knicks timeout-wise. They're out of both 20s and fulls. Bulls have plenty left, but only 12 seconds.
Well, now what Rick Pitino has to do is have to come up with some strategy to cover all aspects of what might take place. Should they get a three-point shot and tie it, he has to probably hope that the Bulls are going to call a timeout so that he can then set his defense against what the Bulls might want to do. I think that perhaps Doug Collins might, if he knows the timeout situation, say, listen, fellas, if they score the basket, grab it quick, get it in bounds, and go up and try and get a quick shot rather than giving New York a chance to have to set their defense.
I just told you about the three-point situation. There it is, graphically displayed for you.
This is where it really gets to be fun, I think. Probably, I haven't, of course, coached, but as a coach, it would be fun to be in these situations, to come up with the proper type of strategy and hope that the players will execute it. And as a player, it was always fun to be in this situation.
As we look at the Chicago bench, Michael Jordan and Doug Collins, we see two coaches who really came up, speaking of you, Rick Barry, came up differently here. Rick Pitino coming out of the Providence college ranks to be the head coach of the Knicks, and Doug Collins coming out of the playing ranks and the television booth.
Well, I mean, Doug also did a little assistant coaching. Pitino, of course, assistant for Hubie Brown, who had an influence on his defensive philosophy. But two very talented young men, two of the bright coaches, I think, in the NBA. We've had a great season of great coaching here.
Philadelphia trailing Milwaukee at the half. Philadelphia still in the hunt technically, although they've got a long way to go. Speaking of New York, quickly, they've got to play at Milwaukee Friday, at Indiana Saturday.
Now, interesting, Doug Collins not pressuring the man out of bounds, going to allow him the opportunity. They're going to play off the ball with Pippen. That leaves Wilkins open.
It's blocked by Jordan, controlled by Tucker. He leans in for the shot, misses it. Ewing pitches it back, 4 seconds. Jackson misses. Chicago has the ball and the game at the buzzer, 121 to 118. What an incredible victory for the Chicago Bulls. Collins hugging Jordan, who blocked the three-point attempt. A great comeback attempt by the New York Knicks. But they put themselves now in the hole in that race for the 7th and 8th position in the playoff spot in the Eastern Conference, as they have to go on the road against Milwaukee and Indiana on Friday and Saturday. The final, 121-118 from Madison Square Garden. Rick Barry and Bob Neal will be back with the player of the game right after this. Thank you, Craig Sager. Chicago with a 121-118 win here, and at least for the moment, the Hawks, as Craig just told you, locked in an overtime battle across the river in New Jersey. So for the moment, Chicago moves ahead of Atlanta by half a game into third place in the Eastern Conference, and the Knicks drop a half a game behind Washington because Washington was idle tonight. But it was Michael Jordan offensively and defensively.
Well, here's the big block at the end of the game, that three-point try, part of Wilkins, but a good smart play by Tucker, but good defense over there by Pippen as Trent has to fire it up, and another smart play by Patrick Ewing, who finds Mark Jackson, and his shot won't drop. Ewing tries to get it back. It's too late, and the Bulls pull out a squeaker against the New York Knicks. A great effort on the part of both teams. A little sloppy, but a lot of intensity.
The Bulls are now 20-20 on the road this year, 49-30 overall, and our player of the game is Michael Jordan. And on behalf of Miller Lite, Turner Broadcasting, proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in the name of Michael Jordan, who played sick tonight, had a mild stomach virus, had not felt very good all day long, but Michael Jordan was there when the Bulls needed him tonight.